much you can do about last year, right now, other than this year, and win more games. So we kind of hide away from it, and you can't say, oh, it didn't happen because it did, but it shouldn't affect how we go forward.
Yeah, and I want to ask you before we go forward, I do want to ask you about a new Solomon. I saw him in Salt Lake City against Utah in a really tough environment in bad weather. I saw him dominate one of the better defenses in the conference. How did he go from that to out of your program? Was that,
he graduated. Well, the truth is, when he was young and healthy, he was a really good player.
Yeah.
And then he got banged up, and so he wasn't the same guy at times when he got banged up. But he's still a great young man. I just saw him. He was on campus a week ago. I didn't see him. My son saw him, but he came by about a month and a half ago and said hello. And asked him how he's doing. He's competing for the job down in Baylor, and so I'm rooting for him. But we have other good quarterbacks. Brandon Dawkins is leading the way, but he's got some competition too. But you're right, Brandon Anu wasn't the same guy at the end.
No,
as he was. That was because of injuries. And it's the same way with Nick Wilson. Nick Wilson wasn't the same as he was in freshman because of injuries. Make us healthier, and Anu has moved on. But I feel pretty good about our quarterback competition with Phil.
Do you have too many?
Hell, I don't think so. I don't think we got enough. Why do you got 7? I got to have 3 that can play. My odds are better at 7 than they are with 4. If I could have 10, I'd have 10. And I'm going to bring them on the roster. But the key is, how do you get them all reps? I'm going to figure it out because I'm going to give them all reps.
Because you don't have a lot of time to make that decision. Maybe you do.
I understand the position. I've coached it and involved, obviously, for 30 years. A lot of people make too much out of it. You got to name a starting quarterback. Why? What's so different about that than any other position? I'd rather have Blake. You saw last year, we wound up having to put a 17-year-old true freshman in to start against USC way before he was ready. So we're going to get more of them ready. And I think the key is getting them ready and then we all play at a high level. And I feel good that we can do that.
It's interesting as we visit with Richrodriguez on the Monty Show, brought to you by Harmon Solar, that it seems like momentum's another word. Last year you were never able to get momentum.
Yeah.
But it seems like now everything's new. How do you feel about the direction and the momentum?
It is. It's almost strange. It is strange because it's our 6th year and it's kind of a reboot.
It's 6 years already.
Yeah, imagine that. It's like, I always tell everybody, it's like head coach years should count like dog years. So I've got 144 years of experience right now as a head coach. But the truth is, we needed to reboot a little bit. I got to look in the mirror first at what we're doing, or how I'm leading the charge. And staff-wise, we got a lot of new staff members, and then 50-some new players. And so it almost feels like year one, even though it's not year one, because we got to have more of a sense of urgency to win. And not just not winning just for 12 and all the rumors and hot seat talking, but win because this is what we should be doing. We should be winning. But it's more than I've got to do a better job, the staff's got to be good. But everybody involved in our program, supports our program, got to be committed to winning. It's not just one guy or 2 guys or 10 guys, because when we win, we all win. And there's a lot of folks that have helped us get better, turned around, and we got to show it on the field.
Rich, you've been doing this a long time, and I remember talking to you when you were at Michigan, and you sound like the same guy to me. You sound like you do not waver at all in your ability whatsoever.
Well, I do, but I do at the same time. You got to have confidence in what you're doing, but you can't be so stubborn that you can't change where you got to change and all that. But from a competitive standpoint, I got to ask the leader how about if we become more competitive now or something like I'm still pissed off when I lose a rep in practice. So it's never changed. In some jobs, let's be frank and let's do real news, not fake news here. Some jobs are harder than others, right?
Yes.
It's not as easy to win at the University of Arizona as maybe it is at Texas or Ohio State or Alabama, but at the same time doesn't mean you can't win. 2 years ago we were closer because we won the South and all that. So we can get it done. They won their past. But I've got to do a better job, and we've got to do a good job of setting the type of culture and attitude and making sure everybody in the program involves in it. And it's okay for football to be important. I said that for 5 years, that the key for us to win at Arizona is that it's okay for football to be important to everybody that's associated with the program. And I think it is important.
Wait, what does that mean? What does that mean?
From a support standpoint, from a commitment standpoint, I want people to be mad that we're not winning. That means they care. but we also got to be cognizant of, okay, what don't we have, or something we might not have, and what can we have to help us win? Because when we win, I mean, obviously, the head coach gets way too much credit anyway, but when we win, everybody associated with the program wins. And so what are we doing? You know, when I got to Arizona, my second year we moved into the new football facility. That was going to be built whether I was there or not. The timing was good for me, but it showed a commitment to winning. Now there's some other things we got to do in the program. Now I've got to lead the way.
Like what?
We've got to get an indoor building, which the school is committed to doing. All right, we've got to recruit at a higher level, which the staff is committed to doing. We've got to get our players to in our program, and I think we have that now down here, to really want to get better individually. Not just being part of the program, but to want to get better every day and really love football and not like it. And I think we've got that as well.
Talking to Richrodriguez on the Monty show, the problem is you are in your seat, and there is hot seat, and people do want to sit. Have you done? We also talk about all this turnover and staff and whoever. Have you done what you, Richrodriguez, needed to do to prevent the season you had last year, to prevent the turnover, to prevent?
Yeah, you just got to win, right? There's always some luck involved. Absolutely, stay healthy in certain positions, and that's still going to be a factor in it. But you know, it's all in the game. I mean, we talk about it all day. And as a staff or a program, you can't hide away from the fact that you got to do a whole lot better. I think we're going to win more games. We're convinced of it.
Yeah, well,
that's all you got to do, right?
And I believe you are.
When serves a lot of things, but you know, we've got it starts with me and it starts with the staff, and we've made some changes and some hard changes. And we've also brought in, like I said, 50 new players. So this is going to be as important to August, just for a lot of reasons, since my first year, because there's a lot of teaching, a lot of evaluating that has to go on in these 4 weeks.
Is it realistic to think that you guys can recruit against UCL?
That's a fair question, and I think there are going to be times where are we ever, you know, the best player in Southern California grew up in SC fan. Are you going to beat SCI? Probably not. But that doesn't mean you can't get a guy that could potentially be as good. We got to do a better job of evaluation and finding those kind of guys. And it's not just, hey, Scooby Wright was a great example, an underprivileged guy, basically one of being one of the best defensive player in the league this year. We got to find more of them. And that's a challenge as a staff to do that, because can we get would I sign a class of 25 5-stars? Are you kidding? Of course I would. But realistically, it's not going to happen, you know. And so you can still get some of it, but we're not going to get as many as some other schools. It doesn't mean you can't get as many players. We got to do a better job of evaluating them.
Is that a tough sell to tell, you know, Wildcat fans that you're not going to get the best of the best?
No, I don't know that. I mean, when they were winning with Teddy Bruschi and Lance Briggs and Dick Tomey years and all that, I mean, they were getting those guys. Like, who says they're 5-stars? Is it some recruiting ranking, or they wind up being a 5-star? That's the key. You don't. Sometimes you got to calm, you know, a few folks down and say, listen, just because they're recruiting ranking is good doesn't mean you're calling a really good player. You know, and that's. I think that's what gets lost a little bit with the attention that's paid to recruiting now. But at the same time, we don't want to shy away from trying to get the best. We got to know what they say. Oh, we battle them to the end. We lost them. Then who you got? No, we're going to sign good players.
What's your if I have to ask you, you know, describe your offense to me? What's your offense going to look like this year? What are the core tenets of your offense?
Well, it's always going to be more of a spread-based, up-tempo type of system. You know, whether we run more or throw more really depends on how teams are playing this and what the ability of the quarterback is. If the quarterback can do both well, and the defense make us do both well, the core of it will still always be a kind of spread, fast tempo.
What's the core tenets of your defense?
Hopefully play a little bit better and get some more stops. Last year's going to get stuck in that one. But we were always kind of almost back on our heels a little bit, not from a scheme standpoint, but never could get a 3 and out, never forced enough turnovers. And so we got to be more aggressive. I love the commitment our staff has to it. You know, our players will be more confident there, but we've got to play better defensively. I don't want to be known as you're an offensive guy. Well, no, I'm a head coach. I want us to be good in every respect. And our defense has a chip in the shoulder.
And I asked this of Richrodriguez on 1580 The Fan. I asked this with all respect. do you love the job at head coach? Because that's something that we talk about a lot. Does Richrodriguez
That's a fair
love
question. Yeah, I do. I love the city of Tucson. The people have been great. I mean, absolutely great. I mean, I love coaching there. Obviously, my kids go to school. My daughter's a cheerleader, going to senior year. My son's going to go to school there and play there. And so we love the town. We love it. It's a challenging job at times. And is it easy? Is it a harder job than some other places? Sure it is. But that's the challenge. And I think, again, I have to do a better job, I think, at least now, the last year or two, of making sure that passion and that competitiveness is permeated throughout everybody that's involved in the program. I think I did initially, and I don't think I did as good a job of that as everybody understanding. Just, all we want you to win. Okay, all right, this is all we got to do.
Ucla was unamused with the rankings and the projections that came out today that had you guys behind ASU.
Probably last ever. Yeah, I hope we're all pissed off. But we are what they say they are until we change.
Well, thanks, Coach. Good to meet you.